Good morning, Highlands. My name is Brooklyn.
And I'm Haley, and we are your Scottie News anchors. And now for your Thursday, November 17th Scottie News.
It's Thursday, so you know what time it is. It is shout out time. First up, we have Isabel Zambrano, who wants to give a shout out to Mrs. Stevens because she's a very nice teacher and she's very funny.
Next, we have Mr. Matt Smith, who gave a shout out to his 3 block classes, 1st and 2nd, 5th and 6th, and 7th and 8th, with the message that they rock and he can't wait for them to be back, or for him to be back and working and learning from them. And Mrs. Stevens would also like to give a huge shout out to her period 5th and 6th class. They are amazing to work with, and she looks forward to seeing them every day. They are what being a Scottie is all about.
Mrs. Crandall would like to shout out Alexis Magana for always coming to leadership with a great attitude and willingness to do his best. Keep up with the good work, Alexis. Aiden Brinkley wanted to shout out Alvaro Mendoza for being so good at school and Overwatch 2. He is so good that he dominated Ninja.
Kaylee Goodyear would like to give a shout out to a couple of people. The first person is Mrs. Ellis. She is always so supportive and makes her happy when she is in her class. The second person Kaylee would like to give a shout out to is the nurse because she always is such a great listener and helps with anything. The last person she would like to give a shout out to is all of the principals that work here at Highlands. Kaylee really appreciates all the work that they do to help the school be positive and happy, also for protecting us all they can.
Jasmine Jernigan wants to give a shout out to Janelyn Dick for being a great friend and always being there for her.
From Mrs. Raymond, she wants to shout out to everyone for the hard work thus far in the school year. She says thank you to her honor students who go above and beyond to participate in class and ask great questions. Thank you to her students in her 3rd and 4th hour class who are respectful with the second chance breakfast and make sure their trash and sometimes others ends up in the garbage cans. Thank you to those in her 7th and 8th hour who stack extra chairs and pick up garbage off the floor that is not necessarily theirs. It helps keep their classroom clean. She wants to thank all of the students in all of her classes that are always helping the flow of the class by being respectful and on task.
Mrs. Atkins saying shout out to my awesome SPED teammates, Miss Lusk, Mr. Esquivel, Mr. Schrader, and Mrs. Booth. I appreciate your humor, support, and encouragement so much I couldn't do my job without you. She goes on to say, shout out to my 3rd and 4th period ELA class. They wrote some very heartfelt thank you messages to staff members. I'm so thankful for all of my students during this time of giving thanks. Mrs. Nicholas closes out our shout outs by shouting out to Mr. Nelson for true knight in shining technology armor. Thanks for coming to our rescue time after time. You are amazing.
In other news, our web is presenting a cool cultural event this week, Art Around the World. The focus will be on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Web leaders will be facilitating art projects from around the world during lunches. The purpose of this project is for all of us to learn that art is fluid. It transforms when it travels around from one place to another, and how everything around the world is connected through art. Today we will be making Moroccan mosaics. Thank you, Ms. Pacino, and thank you for the web team to look into other cultures, for looking into other cultures.
Today we would like to congratulate the following students for outstanding chocolate bar sales. To celebrate, they will be having a pizza party at lunch. The winners are, in 6th grade, Corelli Farias, Casey Gideon, Chloe Denk, Ulysses Garza, Ayari Reyes, Leah Sanchez.
In 7th grade, Harmony Goen, Janny Dick, Jacqueline Hernandez, Angie Valadares.
In 8th grade, Daisy Garza, Julian Rivas, Ryan Rocha, Jesse Ramos, Aiden Mercado. Thank you for your outstanding efforts to make this fundraiser a success.
Tomorrow we are having our first PEP assembly. We acknowledge our sports teams. We get to acknowledge our sports teams, have leadership do a fun activity, and to celebrate being a Scottie. Show your pride and wear your red or your black Scottie shirt tomorrow.
And don't forget to go to the 8th grade hall after school to get your snacks. Mr. Frenson, Mrs. Stewart, and the other amazing staff members are there for you to get your snack on. Slushies, chips, and candy are all waiting for you.
Also remember that tomorrow we have early release at 10:40 and no school on Monday due to our super showcases.
And finally, our quote of the day comes from Farouk Elbaz, an Egyptian-American space scientist and geologist who worked with the NASA in the scientific exploration of the moon and the planning of the Apollo program. He says competition in itself encourages creativity, and creativity is the basis of knowledge.
Have a great day here at HMS.